Shall we play chess or watch the cricket match on TV, Grandpa?
Ravi asked after his mother left.
Just set out the chessboard, Ravi.
Grandpa put his paper down.
I'll just go around the corner to see whether the Tamil newspaper has arrived.
Appa usually buys you the Tamil paper on his way home. But if you want it immediately, I'll buy it for you,
Ravi offered.
I hope you're not going to be as tiresome as your mother, Ravi, treating me like a baby. Has she told you not to let me go out on my own? Told you to keep me a prisoner here, has she?
Grandpa suddenly looked suspicious. Ravi looked guilty for a moment, then quickly recovered to say loyally,
Of course not, Grandpa. Amma would never treat you like a baby or as a prisoner.
Good,
said Grandpa craftily.
Then you'll have no objection to me going out.
He picked up his beautiful shiny black mahogany walking stick with a brass handle carved in the shape of an eagle's head. He put on his bright yellow cap and declared,
I'll be back home before you can set up the board, Ravi.
He heard the elevator door shut as Grandpa went down. Ravi decided he would follow Grandpa secretly, at a safe distance to make sure he came to no harm. He ran out of the building just in time to see Grandpa's yellow cap disappearing round the corner. Grandfather's first stop was the children's park, where he bought himself a paper cone of peanuts and settled on a bench, watching the children play. Ravi, feeling very foolish, had to crouch behind a bush trimmed in the shape of an elephant to avoid being seen. He felt even more foolish when a small child came up to him and asked,
Are you playing hide and seek? I can show you a better place to hide.
Shh, was all Ravi could say before he felt a shadow fall over him and an enormous voice boomed. How dare you shoo my child? Who are you? It was the little boy's mother. Shh, Ravi repeated to the massive lady. I'll shh you rude boy, said the large lady, picking up her umbrella threateningly. The ultimate humiliation was when Ravi had to crawl out of the park on all fours, ducking behind the benches, creeping behind the bushes, thanking his lucky stars that Grandpa hadn't heard the noise and spotted him. Grandpa's next stop was the tea stall, and this time Ravi took position behind a big banyan tree to watch him, feeling most embarrassed when the vendors sitting under the tree gave him quizzical looks.
This area is booked by us,
said one old lady who was selling plastic combs in the same tone she might use where she asked to address a gathering without being given a loudspeaker.
There is no room for any new vendors. Oh, all right.
Ravi conceded defeat and moved to duck behind a shiny silver car, peering through the windows to keep an eye on Grandpa. Grandpa took his time sipping a sugary cup of tea. He was forbidden sugar at home. Then ate 2 bananas, another banned item, then tucked into an ice cream bought from the cart. Mother would faint if she saw this. Ravi felt hot, bothered and faint by the time Grandpa finished his snack. His heart thudded anxiously when he saw Grandpa zigzagging through the traffic as he crossed the road. He shut his eyes in panic when he heard a screech of brakes and opened them just in time to see Grandpa entering the barber's shop. Now Grandpa was as bald as a table tennis ball, so Ravi decided that a closer look was in order. He crossed the road, first looking dramatically left and then right and then hurriedly ducked into the shop next to the barber's. only to be evicted a moment later amidst a volley of feminine shrieks because it happened to be a ladies' hairdressing salon.
Just as well I was thrown out,
Thought Ravi, because he spotted Grandpa making his way briskly towards the bus stop. And oh no! Boarding the first bus that stopped there. Sprinting for the bus and jumping onto it seconds before it started would have deterred a lesser detective. But not Ravi, who was panting as he managed to leap onto the crowded bus. He could see Grandpa's yellow cap somewhere in the front. It was warm inside the bus, so Grandpa took off his cap to reveal a full head of grey hair. Ravi was startled.
surely Grandpa couldn't have bought a wig at the barber shop,
He thought, pushing his way to the front of the bus to confront the cap wearer. It was a total stranger. He was wearing a white dhoti and shirt, which was Grandpa's standard attire, and a yellow cap, exactly like Grandpa's. But wait, the cap had a coffee stain on its rim, just like Grandpa's.
Grandpa's cap.
Ravi couldn't help exclaiming. The stranger grinned pleasantly and told Ravi that a kind old gentleman in the barber's shop had insisted that he take his cap because it was such a hot day. That was typical of Grandpa, always generous. But where was the kind old gentleman? Ravi went back to the barber's shop. Grandpa wasn't there. He wasn't at the park either. Ravi was frantic. After all, his mother had left him in charge of Grandpa. He tried calling first his mother and then his father, but both numbers were busy. Sick with worry, Ravi went home wondering whether Grandpa would be able to find his way back. To his great delight and relief, the first thing he heard when he opened the front door was the gentle whir of Grandpa snoring in his bedroom. He knelt down near the bed and put his cheek against the old man's face. Grandpa's thin, wrinkled skin had more creases than a map has lines. Grandpa smelt of eucalyptus ointment and shaving cream. Ravi suddenly felt overcome with affection for his grandfather and gave him a hug, but Grandpa only grunted in his sleep. He decided not to question Grandpa because then he would have to reveal that he had been following him. "What did you both do today?" asked Ravi's mother when she got back from office.
I had a quiet morning, but I don't know about Ravi. He just disappeared instead of staying at home to look after me like you told him to,
answered Grandpa coolly while Ravi just nodded his head in surprise. Grandpa had another surprise for Ravi, a gift-wrapped parcel.
But Appa, Ravi's birthday was 3 months ago. Have you forgotten?
Exclaimed Ravi's mother impatiently.
No, but you know I always give a gift to every child in the house on my birthday. Have you forgotten?
Countered Grandpa very seriously. Ravi's mother flushed red and darted a stricken look at the calendar on which she had, at the beginning of the year, circled today's date in red and written Appa's birthday. There was a gift for her too, and for Ravi's father as well, for Grandpa still considered them his children. Grandpa turned to Ravi's father, who had just walked into the room.
My daughter needs some vitamin M, I think, for her memory.
Ravi's mother flushed a darker shade of red, and Ravi's father looked confused. Ravi unwrapped his gift to find a thick hardback book the best detective stories.
Great stories, Ravi. You can pick up some really good tips on how to be a detective. How to avoid getting fooled when one is trailing a suspect, for instance.
Grandpa advised Ravi.
I don't think he wants to be a detective. Do you, Ravi?
Asked his father, looking even more confused.
I haven't decided yet.
Answered Ravi, because he was too busy trying to decide whether the twinkle in Grandpa's eye was an innocent gleam or a mischievous one.